What's going on, guys? It's your boy H-Dog back here with another video. If you're brand new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to stay updated on the latest gaming news and live streams. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter at H-Dog Gaming, all one word. Link will be in the description below. That way, just in case if you're not getting any notifications in your sub feed, you can always follow me there to stay updated on any videos that I was to upload. But with that being said, let's get into today's video. And this has been going crazy all over Twitter all day. This has been blowing up and continues to blow up. This article comes from Business Wire. If you want to read the full article, link will be in the description. It talks about the brand new announcement of the long-awaited college football revival at EA, and which I believe EA Sports has been around. I could be playing stupid, but apparently EA Sports is bringing back the NCAA football franchise. It's not called NCAA football, it's called college football, just simply called college football, which I think it has something to do with the NCAA brand as a whole, which henceforth is why I got on my LSU gear. Yes, I know we sucked last year, shut up. But anyway, it says, today Electronic Arts, a worldwide leader in interactive entertainment and sports gaming, and CLC, the nation's leading collegiate trademark licensing company, announced the expected return of college football to EA Sports. The partnership allows for EA Sports to be the exclusive developer of simulation college football video game experiences. Development of EA Sports College Football is just currently underway, with launch timing still to come as the project progresses in the years ahead. For 2 decades, EA Sports entertained millions of fans by recreating the unparalleled pageantry of college football. The EA Sports College Football franchise was a consistent top 5 sports title in North America during its previous run, generating tens of millions unit sales from 2005 to 2014. In recent years, college football has been one of the most requested games by fans from EA Sports, and today EA is confirming plans for its official return. Quote, "We've heard from millions of passionate fans requesting the return of college football video games. We love the energy, tradition, pageantry of college football, and I'm beyond thrilled to say we are back in development. We've had a lot really exciting work ahead of us, and great team that is eager to bring a new game to players in the next couple of years. We're very excited to collaborate with EA Sports to bring back the college football franchise, one of the most popular collegiate licensed products in our history. The college football video game connects passionate fans to college brands and introduces new fans, restored traditions, excitement, and game day experience that make college football unique. The new franchise will deliver authentic college football experiences and the high quality gameplay that fans have long loved in college football games from EA Sports. Through the CLC partnership, the franchise will include the rights to more than 100 institutions, featuring the logos, stadiums, uniforms, game day traditions, and more that fans have come to know and love. While this college game will not include student athlete names, images, and likenesses, EA Sports is continuing to watch those developments closely, which kind of goes into what they are about. And they tell you, stay updated. Now, there's a lot to unpack here. Apparently, they reached a deal with the CLC, which kind of like grants some certification to get things greenlit in terms of certain things being put in place. Now, it's saying that they won't have any likenesses of the players. Now, they somewhat had the likenesses of the players when it had the first original run, but they were just like generic, like wide receiver number 13, wide receiver number, I don't know, 9 or something. But basically, the CLC will kind of like allow EA Sports to, have all the colleges, their traditions, how they celebrate pregame and all that into the game. Now, I wonder, will they have the original commentary cast that they had in the original run. You know, Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, and I forget the third guy's name. Someone informed me who he was in the comments. I know it was those two, and you could use Lee Corso like you used to do in older Madden games with Ask Madden. It'd be the same thing with Lee Corso, and he would kind of tell you what he thinks what play you ought to, run. But for people who don't know, like, this is a widely popular franchise that's been dormant primarily because of the NCAA not paying their players. And it all stems to that. It all goes back to that. And then, meaning as far as the licenses goes as well. Because what the NCAA would do, they would use their likeness to kind of like have them, plastered on everything. Video games, TV, you name it. And the student athletes, never got paid. Now, what I'm thinking that they're doing is they're having a deal behind the scenes where players can get paid so their likenesses can be used. So I think by the time this game does, see the light of day, we'll have like by that time they'll officially be getting paid by the NCAA, so they can be on covers and maybe even have official names, and they can possibly be officially scanned in the game. But it kind of makes me think, like, what type of gameplay could we expect? Now, I know it has a lot of similarities to Madden, but over the years, especially like in the games that I grew up playing, like NCAA 07 all the way up to 14, throughout those stretch of games, like, to me, in my opinion, they started, like, I would say when it got to like Madden 09 and beyond, more people tended to lean towards the NCAA franchise after that. Like, when it got to NCAA 09 and beyond, people ran with NCAA franchise over Madden, because year over year, Madden started to go in that line to where we know now, which is the sunken place. So far in the sunken place, SpongeBob is in it. Like, not literally, but figuratively, he's in the game. They just got like stadiums and fucking jerseys and whatnot. Now, do I expect the gameplay to be like drastically night and day different from Madden? It could go either way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a possibility, a chance, where you could have it feel different from Madden, and not only different, but possibly even better in terms for the feel of the game and the realism of the game. And not just that, what type of modes would they bring into it? I don't know if y'all recall, but like back when it was up and running, they had different modes like Dynasty mode, Road to Glory mode, which in Road to Glory you could like play your way through your last year of high school and play all the way to the championship game. And what I loved about that, even though like there was a time when they did that, I was at that age where I would have preferred the commentary, I would have preferred the commentary of the commentators and not hearing nothing at all. But the older I got to where I am now, I'm more appreciative of the immersion that it did, because what they would do when you were in that Road to Glory mode, you would be like locked in as the player that you made in college football, and you wouldn't hear no commentator noise. You would hear nothing but the fans going crazy. You would hear nothing but like the huddle, the play calls, the sounds, the different types of sounds that would be made when you collide into a opposing offensive lineman or a D lineman, however the case goes. You would kind of have that sense of immersion feeling, and that's what I loved about college football so much, was that immersion. It was so immersive that you really kind of would feel like you were on the field in a way, not literally, but like figuratively speaking, of like you're basically hearing and seeing what they are. Except it's not in first person. Like this game in first person would be crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if they, added VR support to it. I don't know. It's just an idea. Now, I would like them to kind of do what they were doing what they used to, and this is another thing what they used to do in the older games. I can recall in those older games, when you graduated high school, they would have you getting scouted out by you doing these certain drills. How good you did in these particular drills, it would kind of reflect on where you would go or what college they think you would be best, you would be a best fit to go to. Where like if you have a bad performance, they'll give you to the lowest team, they'll give you to the worst team. But if you do really well, they'll say, hey, you need to go to Florida, you need to go to LSU, you need to go to Alabama, vice versa. Those teams, that's what they would tell you to go if you did really well, performed really well in their drills that they would give you. It never really had much of a story behind it, you know what I'm saying? It never did. But a part of me feels like it never needed one, because when you was a student athlete, this was something that kind of tied into the immersion, where you would have to take these exams like you were in college. You had to take certain exams like you really was in college, having to kind of like making sure you pass and ace them exams, because if you didn't pass those exams, they would kind of like pull you out the game and you wouldn't be able to play or practice. So I feel like that kind of tied into the immersion of the game, which we know is non-existent in Madden, because they've had like a story mode somewhat in the last Madden game, but the last story mode I played with Madden, it was like extremely short. Like it was like probably 5 seconds, it felt like, and it had potential. It was something that kind of had potential, but they just cut it way too short, and it just turned into franchise all of a sudden. And franchise has just been something that they've been too heavily relying on to the point it's become a goddamn crutch. They don't be listening to us, the fans, what we've been wanting. We've been wanting like the old school immersion that Madden used to have, where you would be locked in as that one player, whoever you made, where it would be immersive. You wouldn't hear nothing but the crowd. You wouldn't see or hear nothing but the rain, the wind, whatever it was, the play calls. It would be absolutely immersive. I remember when they had that like skill cone, where it kind of like filled up and gave you a skill point every time you did something. And also it would also have like a negative effect, where if you like missed a tackle or you messed up, it would kind of like take away, it would lower whatever you gained, you know what I'm saying? Kind of give and it took, which even in the older Madden games, and it pisses me off that you talk about this, because they should have never took them out. I can recall when they had the combine drills, and how good you did in the combine would reflect on your draft stock. And whenever draft day came, you didn't just pick your favorite team to go to. It was just like, oh, because you performed like this is where we think you're best suited for, and you would go from there, and you could have an agent, demand a trade, stuff like that. If let's say this college football revival is able to kind of offer a mix of two things. Let's say they kind of have like the story type of thing where they try to do a Madden and they kind of piggyback off that a little bit or more, or they kind of like go in more depth to the story, and they kind of add that immersion of the game that we know and love, that we miss, the type of immersion of the game that Madden took away, that EA took away with Madden games in the years past. Now, my only worries about this game is it going to be too similar to Madden, where the dynasty mode is going to be non-existent, where it don't really make you feel like you're building a dynasty. It just feels like franchise mode, and it's inevitable that they're going to have the college football version of MUT. It's inevitable, because MUT makes EA shit tons of money. It's going to be in the game. I know we going to throw a hissy fit about it, but it's going to be in the game because EA knows it's going to make money. They know people going to buy that shit. And they ain't nobody really going to have that much backlash for it. If this EA college football revival is able to scratch that itch that Madden hasn't been able to, if it's able to scratch that itch and kind of like give us a reason why, hey, you should stick with this over Madden, then I think it'll be good. I think it'll be for the best. Another thing that kind of troubles me is that this is going to be an exclusive thing, and it's not going to be where they can go to different developers like 2K and possibly revive the NBA. They could revive the college football 2K series that they had back in the day. I think the last one was 2K5, if I'm not mistaken, and a lot of people love that. It kind of is a bummer that they made the exclusive deal and didn't do what Lucasfilm did, is just say, you know what, we're just gonna experiment with different people. It kind of is disappointing in that regard. But with that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Are you looking forward to another EA college football video game? Have you ever played them? Have you not? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and tap the notification icon to stay updated on any gaming news and live streams that I do. Until next time, it's been the boy Dog. I'm out. Peace.